I hobbled my way over to the set. He was worth it. Spring break is approaching, and you may be looking for a getaway. Our next guest has some ideas on how to get there on the cheap. Give it up for Jared from Thrifty Traveler, everybody. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me again, Jason.
I always like for you to rub it in. Where did you just come back from? Where have you been lately?
I was in Hawaii. I was in Maui, and I know you love Honolulu as well.
Yes.
It's a little expensive, though. So, like, the whole Thrifty Traveler lifestyle, there's a little bit of a...
Goes against the whole thriftiness.
But it's incredible. Let's be honest.
It's Hawaii.
It is Hawaii, yes.
Let's start with, so Hawaii is on the expensive end. We're going to get to general deals a little bit later, but spring break deals, what are we looking at?
Sure. So spring break generally can be any time kind of in March or even the beginning of April. So I have to say, now at this point in time, it's almost too late to book, but you got to start thinking about, if you are going to be traveling in April, there's some really cheap flights to like Minneapolis to Puerto Vallarta. And again, we're going to get to those a little bit later. But you really need to start being proactive and booking at least 45 days before you're going to depart. Otherwise, prices just skyrocket.
Okay, so at that is worst case scenario. In an ideal situation, maybe someone's planning for next spring break.
Yeah.
They're budgeting. When in an ideal situation should they book for spring break travel?
So you should definitely be looking, around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And definitely hop, obviously follow Thrifty Traveler, be on Google Flights, be looking, set up some Google Flights price alerts. You gotta be looking ahead. That last minute booking is just you're gonna end up paying 2 to 3 times more than you would if you booked, back in, in the fall or early winter.
Okay. Let's talk about a subject. I went off on it a couple days ago. It's on every newscast. Real ID. Real ID.
The mess that is Real ID.
What's your perspective? And for those watching, because what was it, Jared? 50% of our fellow citizens do not know what Real ID is.
Sure. And only 15, I heard this stat this morning, it's 12% of Minnesotans have a Real ID compliant license. So no one is prepared for this. So what do I think is going to happen?
Yeah.
Election.
Come October 1st.
Come October, yeah. November's election. Congress and the White House are for sure going to push this back, in my opinion.
So?
You can't have, so if you don't have a Real ID compliant, Minnesota license or an enhanced driver's license or a passport, you won't be able to fly.
Anywhere, you're going to go to the gate.
Yes.
I said the scenario, you're going to go to the gate. And I think of a grandmother who doesn't have access to a lot of information. She wants to go fly to see grandson Timmy. They're not going to let her on.
No, you're going to go to security, and they're going to be like, you don't have a compliant license. And it's insane.
Yeah.
So it's going to get pushed back because, this has been out for 15 years. They've been trying to get compliant with this.
And there's two states. I think it's Nebraska, and there's one other that won't even let people apply until this summer. I read that. And I was like,
it's not going to happen.
It's going to be but still do it now.
Yes,
I
if you can.
did a pre-application.
Yes.
I have an appointment actually tomorrow, so I'm actually, which makes Colin very happy.
Yes,
so, yeah.
If you are getting a new license, be sure to give yourself ample time because I think it takes several months to even get your ID, and then you're going to wait a couple hours just at the DMV. So.
Another hot topic, I want to just get your opinion on this. I also read, and I wonder if you can neither confirm nor deny, that Delta, the powers that be at Delta are thinking of getting rid of change fees. Have you heard this?
I have heard a little bit about it, but we will see.
Because I'm asking you because you looked in your crystal ball for Real ID. You think it's going to be pushed back. Do you think they're actually going to do this?
We will see. I will be the first. So that is a huge source of revenue for Delta, but Delta is making so much money, let's be honest. But I will say that Delta is always on the forefront as far as U.S. airlines are concerned. So, when they roll out something new, usually it's Delta that does it, and then United and American copy it.
Yeah, because if you don't get what we're saying is, when you book your ticket and something comes up and you want to prolong your trip, which I have done many times, right, Mama Haas? When you do it, then Delta charges you, or the airlines charge you. What is it, Jared?
For international flights, it can be over $300. And then you have to pay whatever the fare difference is. So, it can be just insane.
In your professional opinion, though, don't you think if they do this, because I find this fascinating, don't you think the amount of goodwill and positive publicity would almost be worth it for them?
Yeah, so Southwest already has, they've always, never had change fees. And people love Southwest, and it's always a cult favorite. But I definitely agree that Delta could do something like this and be a huge win. And they're, again, already making so much money. People just flock to Delta until, of course, American and United copy them.
Let's get to deals. What do we have?
Yeah, all right. So we got some really amazing domestic deals. New Orleans, $156 nonstop round trip, April through January. So let's talk about a little bit, how do you find these deals? Of course, go to thriftytraveler.com or use Google Flights. Definitely the best way to search for fares on your own. All right, New Orleans, $155 nonstop round trip, April through January. Seattle and Portland this spring and fall. And actually Portland, this is a great one, in July and August. So normally not a cheap trip, but Portland's a hot one. Denver, $96 nonstop round trip on Delta. That's on the site today. One that might be great for spring break is to Miami, nonstop on American and Delta, April through May, $136.
That's a good deal, believe me, I know.
Yeah.
More with Jared when we come back. Stay right there, answering your travel questions from Facebook. ThriftyTraveler.com. You guys have a special, I saw you on Instagram yesterday. I always crack up because knowing Jared is funny because I'm like, oh, where is he now when I get it? But you were in your office.
In my office.
Tell folks what you're doing. This is great.
Yeah, so we've partnered with MakeAWish Minnesota to raise frequent flyer miles to help send kids with critical illnesses on trips with their families. So yeah, it's obviously,
you know,
we love points and miles at Thrifty Traveler.
Yeah.
And I think there's nothing better than to use those miles to help make a kid, that's suffering or, just not doing very well, have something to look forward to. Just one of these amazing trips that Make-A-Wish Minnesota puts on all the time.
And you have a goal.
So we're trying to raise 2 million miles. We're already, I think, close to 500,000.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, this is going to be through Sunday. But Make-A-Wish Minnesota needs over 75 million miles just in Minnesota every year.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's crazy. Yeah, they do some amazing things. You don't hear about it a lot, but some of these stories are simply incredible.
And we're going to get to one in just a second, but if someone's watching, is it easy? Is it easy to donate? Because, sometimes anything dealing with airlines is a little cumbersome. Is it pretty easy for folks watching if they want to donate?
So this is one of the few things, like you said, that's actually easy. So you just go to thriftytraveler.com/makeawish, and it's really easy to donate. If you only have 1,000 miles, or maybe you got 500,000 miles, they'll take any amount. So, if you got some spare miles and they might be expiring, just hop on to thriftytraveler.com/makeawish to donate.
You mentioned a lot of good stories come from this. There's you on your social media. Tell the story. Let's show the pictures, Leo, if we can. Who are we looking at here, Jared?
So this is Anthony. So back in 2001, his wish was to be a Northwest pilot for a day. And Northwest and Make-A-Wish granted this. He flew to Milwaukee and back. Like the cutest kid ever.
Ever.
But the coolest part of this story is he's now an airline pilot.
Look at that!
Yeah. So we got to hang out with him yesterday, and he's like the coolest guy ever, loves Make-A-Wish. This changed his life. And there's so many different kids that are going through many different types of illnesses, and just to have them, be able to get them out of the hospital or, out of treatments and go on a trip. It's awesome.
A great story.
Right? It's so cool.
That's like something you would see in a Hallmark movie.
They
that
should
is good.
definitely turn it into a Hallmark movie because it's so fun.
And correct me if I'm wrong, if folks donate $50,000 or more, they can win something?
Yeah, they can be put in a drawing for a $500 Delta gift card. So if you have 50,000 or more, American, Delta, United miles, definitely hop on to thriftytraveler.com/travel show, and you'll be put in the drawing for that $500 gift card.
We always like to wrap up by asking you, what's your next adventure? Where are you going next?
Nothing too crazy. Punta Cana.
Well, okay. Well, nothing too crazy as Coon Rapids. Jared!
Sorry.
I'm going to Andover. Yeah. You are so jaded.
I know.
No, when are you going?
Going at the end of April, but we're just going to an all-inclusive resort, one that you can book with miles. It's a Hyatt one. Really looking forward to it. It's brand
new.
Like
all-inclusive, don't you?
I like free all-inclusives.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's why he's the Thrifty Traveler. Give it up for Jared, everybody. For more information, you can find Jared at thriftytraveler.com. And don't forget to follow him on social media, too. Just search for Thrifty Traveler.